All right, it's Monday, October 20th. It's about an hour and a half into trading, and I just wanted to kind of do a SPY update because you can kind of see what's unfolding as we start the week. Also, I'll be in and out for a lot of the week, so I just thought I'd kind of highlight what, at least the way I'm kind of viewing this market at the moment. First of all, you can see here we're obviously green on the day, and on this inside day, after taking out, that high to open, we did reach our two little targets here, and that's where we're at right at the moment. You could see on the 15-minute chart, it was a clear buy signal on bar number 2 to go up above bar 1, above the pre-market highs, and then get some follow through. So we've had that happen. Also, on the weekly chart, we had a big inside week last week, very big range after that red bar. It closed a little green, so there was a little bias that, you would maybe try to start higher. And technically, from the inside week, even though these are kind of matching almost, we do have an inside bar breakout to the upside, which does target back to those all-time highs until proven otherwise. So I wouldn't be surprised at all early in the week here, if we do try to take out that high. However, that became the 3-bar last time, the higher highs, the lower lows. And now from the inside price action, because, let's say we get to higher highs again, that could be the area where in this, if we're choppy, can start a failure to the downside. But now we kind of at least know the reference point. So let's say we do get up here and take out that higher high. Maybe it's today, maybe it's in compound fashion, or as the week goes on. We have to then start failing, and number one, we got to go through the open of the week. So I'm going to mark this level right here. That's kind of a key level, and it might even happen today. Let's say we just fail on this daily bar. We hit this target. We don't even reach our target, and then we come back through the open. That's a stronger sign that we could be failing up here. But we're going to see, because right now we are projecting to those highs based on that weekly chart. We're, 2 up week. There's our weekly target, and we know the open of the week right here. Also, to really fail this whole thing, we got to get through the midpoint. Let's get rid of this bar here of this whole week from last. A 2-up failure would be coming higher, taking out that high, maybe not reaching its target, and coming all the way back down through somewhere where the midpoint is of the bar. That would project back to the lows. So those are kind of the two reference points. The open of the week here. As long as we stay above that, I'm going to project we head up here, and then we'll just kind of follow it day by day. And this weekly chart really won't fail until we get below the open. I mean, the good news is we have taken out the high of the previous week, so we now early in the week, so now we know the open. If we come below that, that could be the first kind of step to then getting through the midpoint of that week. So we're going to see if this whole choppy action, where last week I was kind of looking to buy near the lows and there was a good buy, and I was selling up here near the highs, and then we closed neutral, and now we're starting up again. So it's possible we're still in that mode where we can get failures up here and work down strong and get by and consolidate for a period of time. Obviously, we have to break out of this big red bar one way or the other, and that's kind of what you're going to monitor for. So if you hit that level, like I said, it's an inflection point, and it's important to see if you almost expect it to pause and try to fail, because that's what happened last time. But if it just it might take a few days to show that it's not really failing up there, but just pausing and then starting a whole nother leg higher. So that's the thing. If it gets up here, your expectation is really not for it to strongly break through, but more just to pause there and then see what happens. And if it just can pause and not really begin to fail, then expect kind of a big leg higher. So that's kind of it, at the moment. And we're starting the week out, obvious buy signal here. Instead of the SPY, for me, I was kind of buying Coinbase this morning and AMD. So I've taken advantage of this upside move, but you don't know, for sure after this morning move what's going to develop. We kind of know the reference point. So again, just thought I'd shoot this early morning video here. SPY has broken through, given me a 2-up week. There's our next target, and I'm kind of expecting that to be hit. And then to see if we, I think, given that big selling there last time, you almost expect it to pause up there. And people think, it's going to be easy to just sell at resistance and buy at support, but that's not usually the way it works. But the way it works is that this move is usually a target, and then it pauses there, and then you get to decide, is this going to be, a pause to resume higher or a potential reversal. And in the potential reversal, again, we got to get through the open of this week to the downside. So you don't have to be, that aggressive trying to play the sell side, you can almost wait till it gets down there. But you'll see, intraday structure in the days ahead kind of leading you towards that open. So let's keep an eye on that level. Let's keep an eye on the midpoint of the prior week for any failures to go down. Other than that, be biased to the upside and expect this target to be hit. And if so, that's a pause area. Keep that in mind. And if we go up and can't even come close to that target and start coming back through the range, that's a good sign that this inside bar is failing to reach its target and we might be heading a lot lower. But, for now, that's not really the expectation. So just thought I'd follow up. That's the SPY update here early in the morning, Monday, October 20th.